Good morning, everybody. It's currently a little bit past 6:30. I slept in just a little bit, but it's been lightly raining all morning, so that's kind of slowed me down. But that's okay, because the Fort Union historical site doesn't open until 9, so I'm only maybe a mile and a half away from it. So I got plenty of time this morning to get things ready. I kind of fell asleep last night before I got the video. I edited the video, but I didn't get it all rendered and then uploaded last night. So I'm doing that now. Just gotta do a quick thumbnail real quick, and that video will be done. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a slow morning, which is funny because I keep talking about how I hate those, but a little bit of rain. I don't really want to get rained on if I don't have to, so it works out pretty good. If I have to, I'll sit here and edit the next day's video a little bit and get a little bit ahead. Alright, so it's about 8 o'clock. I've had a really slow morning. So I've got pretty much everything packed up in the tent, and I'm going to come down here, figure out some breakfast, because I am hungry. So we'll see what I can dig out of this hole and figure out what I'm going to have for breakfast. Looks like I did get a little bit of rainwater. I'm not sure it's enough to really worry about trying to filter, but yeah. It's a little windy today, but looks like it's going to be a nice day. So I made a mess. I pulled out all the food out of the hole just to see what I had. And I've got about 6 MREs left. About 4 like cold breakfasts, like the yogurt and granola, that kind of stuff, a little thing of oatmeal, and I don't know, about 10 meals left. So I've got plenty of food. So I think what I'm going to do, since it's such a late morning, I'm going to go ahead and have a MRE for breakfast. This is menu 19, beef patty, grilled jalapeno pepper jack. So I'm just going to eat that for breakfast, brunch, I guess, maybe. And yeah, then I'm going to get all this packed up and get going down the river to the border and go check out the fort. So I'm looking forward to that. So we'll see how today goes. It's probably going to take me a while to get everything put away. I'm moving really slow today, but that's okay. I've got the boat loaded. It's about 9:45, so this was a really slow morning, but I definitely know the fort will be open today, so that's good. So I'm gonna push off and leave Montana. I had a very, very enjoyable evening and morning on my last day here in Montana. I think the border is just around the corner, so I never thought I'd get to spend an entire month here, and it was awesome. Alright, I'm on the water, and I'm right around the corner from the Fort Union trading post. So I'm gonna go check it out. There's supposed to be a small trail coming up from the river, which I can see on the Google satellite. So hopefully I don't miss it. So here's the trail. It's not really that much of a trail. I did see the green tape that was put here earlier this year. So I've got the boat pulled up onto the shore. It's attached with the lead. I've got my stake buried there. So I'm gonna go up and check this place out. I brought some tennis shoes so I don't have to wear my muddy boots inside, or whatever this place is. I'm not sure if it is inside, but we're gonna find out. So it's not a bad trail, just very easy to pass. I understand why a lot of paddlers, miss this. Okay, so there's the trail. It's not too much of a trail, but I made it. But there are like a million mosquitoes, so I took off my rubber boots, put on my regular shoes, and now I'm trying to run away from them because that was horrible. They're not too bad up here.
Went through like a swampy area. Never mind, they are still bad here. But yeah, definitely a lot of mosquitoes. So there's a trail coming up and a bit of a picnic area kind of thing here, and here is the old trading post. So Google says it's open, so let's go check it out. So I think this is the old fort. I don't know pretty much anything about this. I probably should have Googled something. So hopefully they've got some good information plaques here. So this isn't the original Fort Union. It was taken down and used to build a military site, and this is a recreation of that. But it's still very cool. It is on the same spot and built on the same foundation. So this big box here used to be the store range, which was a big warehouse that held most of the wares. So this was a huge trading post, and for the American Fur Company, operating between 1828 and 1867. So they would trade with several different Indian tribes here, and they would trade for furs for small goods. And this was one of the most important economic sites along the river at that time. So it's a very interesting part of our history that how many furs went through this place is just crazy to think about. So it's a very, very cool part of our history. So this was the dwelling house, or the foundations of the dwelling house. It housed all the clerks, interpreters, hunters, employees, as well as Indian wives and children were housed here in this structure. So it was destroyed in a fire in 1832, and the new dwelling house was built right on top of it shortly after that, apparently. This is the Burgess house. It's kind of the heart of the fort here, and it was, where everything was ran from. So this is some of the trading goods that they traded to the Indians for all the hides that they traded here. Very interesting. But also that ties into these bales here, because everything gets baled up. Buffalo robes, you got about 10 of those to a pack. So the river's now about a mile away, but back when this was a active place, this was built right on the riverbank. It's so crazy that it's way over there now. I mean, the river does move, but it's a very cool place. So this is kind of a recreation. Apparently they had a fur press, so you can kind of see it here in a painting that it was used to compress all the furs into bales, which were then loaded onto steamboats and sent to St. Louis. So I saw a pretty good description of this place. It said from 1828 to 1867, Fort Union was the most important fur trading post on the upper Missouri River. So here, over 7 Native American Indian tribes traded for 25,000 buffalo hides and $100,000 worth of merchandise here. So absolutely crazy part of our history, and it's insane that this was peaceful. There was almost no fighting here, and there was a couple of fights between tribes, but very little fighting here at the trading posts. These walls and the original corner buildings were just built as kind of a precaution of fighting, but it never really broke out too bad here. And it's crazy to think that the river was right there. So they did end up having water here. I filled up 2 bladders, and I'm gonna go drop these off at the boat and come back. They also have a vending machine with some soda, so I'm gonna get a couple cold sodas and a couple more gallons of cold water. So I'm walking back down to the boat to put these into my big bladder and come back, because I'm very excited about water. I'm not out of water. I think I've got about, 12 liters of water left, but with this, I'm gonna have lots of water and I don't have to worry about it. So it was gonna get a little close by the time I got to Tobacco Gardens, but now I'm gonna be good, and I'm pretty happy about that. I don't like having to ration water. I drink a lot of water when it gets hot, so I'm happy. So gonna head down to the river. I'm gonna get eaten alive by mosquitoes again, and I'll be back. I'm extremely happy. So I brought 2 gallons of water down earlier. I now have 3 gallons of water, 2 here and 1 in my bag, along with 2 Cokes and a Powerade. So awesome stop. I was able to get rid of my trash, which is the best thing ever. That's probably the thing I'm most excited about, is because I haven't been able to get rid of trash since Fort Peck, and there's a lot. So that is I'm very happy that I was able to get rid of that, and now I'm gonna head back to the river. So if you're going down the river, I would greatly suggest you stop by here at Fort Union, because all of this water is ice cold. Came out of like a bottle filling water fountain. So that is awesome. No, I don't expect to stay cold for long, especially with how hot it is, but still, I am so happy. That was the only thing I was kind of worried about, was water, because I probably had enough, but I was gonna have to be careful with it, and now I don't have to. So these hot days don't mean anything when you got enough water. So yeah, it's a good day. I'm very glad that I decided to stop here. So I'm gonna get down to the boat, get all this water loaded up, and get going down the river again. So there is a bit of a nice like concrete walkway for about a quarter of the way, and then the rest of it's used to be gravel, but it's like a mowed path and not bad. There's a sign about halfway there, and just talking about the Missouri River, and then past that it's just like a very small walking trail down to the river. So it's a little muddy, so I have my rubber boots, and it's gonna be good. So gonna go down here, get eaten alive by mosquitoes again, and then get out onto the water and keep going. Okay, so there's the trail. I just got in the boat on the water. It's 12:40 now, so that took a while to explore the place and learn about it. There was a nice ranger there. He had a ton of knowledge about the place, so that was really cool. We talked for quite a while. And it's just a very interesting part of history, and very cool that it's a peaceful part of history, because unfortunately so much of it isn't. And yeah, I really enjoyed stopping, and not just because I got all of my chores done. It's a very interesting place. So, but speaking of the chores, I got water, I got rid of trash, I got some cold drinks. I am ecstatic. That was everything I could ask for, other than a hot meal, which I knew there wasn't one there. So definitely worth the early day yesterday and the stop here. So I'm completely good now until Tobacco Gardens. I got 5 gallons of water is what I ended up refilling, which is probably a little bit extreme, but that's okay. I'm top off now, and yeah, I'm really happy. All that water was ice cold, and now I'm ready to make some miles. So coming up next is the confluence of the Yellowstone River. So I'm really looking forward to that. We drove along it for quite a while on the drive up here, and it was cool to see that. So now I'm going to get to see the very end of the river, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, since it is 12:40 now, I think I'm ready for lunch. And for lunch today, I have a menu number 11 pizza slice cheese. So I'm pretty excited about that. It is just a piece of cafeteria pizza basically from high school, but it's still pizza. I got some fruit Mentos here, and a ice cold Coca-Cola. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So I'm gonna start eating that, and just keep going down the river. It is a pretty beautiful day. The mosquitoes were really bad there on the bank, and a couple of them have followed me out here, so I'm hoping there's enough wind to blow them away and they will stop bothering me. So, because when you're on the water, they're not really a thing. They're more on the shores. So, thankfully, most of the time. So, I don't get bothered too much by mosquitoes. It's typically the biting flies. They like to land on the back of my arms and bite me, and so I'm constantly having to watch that, but that's okay. They're not out yet so far. There's no cattle along the edge of the river. That's where most of the horse flies and biting flies are attracted to. So that's good. And yeah, I've had a very short but very good day. I've only made like 1 mile so far, but yeah, that's okay. So this is the cheese pizza on the MRE. I know it doesn't look horribly appetizing, but you know, you can't really make pizza last for like 5 years and still look like normal pizza. So it's pretty much exactly like cafeteria pizza from high school. So I'm gonna eat that and enjoy this beautiful day. So I kind of forgot to talk about it, but that trail at the Union trading post was basically right at the state line. So I am now in North Dakota. So that is really exciting. I absolutely loved Montana, and it's been an amazing time there. And now I'm on the next part of the journey in North Dakota. So really looking forward to this. So I think the Confluence is another couple miles ahead. So we're coming up on the confluence of the Yellowstone River. It's pretty exciting. So the Missouri River kind of comes through here, and the Yellowstone River is coming in right here and dumping in. So a lot more water is being added, which is never a bad thing. Okay, I'm getting a little bit closer to the confluence. There is a boat ramp a little bit farther downstream. I was told does have a pit toilet, so I'll probably stop there. And there's a building right across from the confluence that is I forget the name of it, but it's about the Fort Buford. So after the Union trading post kind of closed, they sold it to the U.S. Army, and they actually dismantled Fort Union and brought it down here and helped build Fort Buford, which was used as a military base, purely just a military base. And it got quite large in its day, and it was here to kind of guard the confluence of the Yellowstone and the Mississippi, and along with a whole bunch else. I'm not familiar with all of its history, but I was told that it was a rather important military base back in its day, and grew to have over 100 buildings and up to several thousand people stationed there, I believe, is what I was told at the Union trading post. So yeah, very cool. There's not much current right here where they both combine, but still very interesting. I was told that when the Yellowstone is flooding really bad, it'll actually back up water for miles on the river, but it is not at the moment. So we're just gonna keep going. So there's looking up the Yellowstone right here at the confluence. It is a quite large river, that's for sure. And it's really interesting that I passed by this river on the way up here a month ago. And now I'm finally here, and it's joining the Missouri. And we're heading towards the next reservoir. So I don't think that I am going to stop at Fort Buford, because I know there's a lot of history there, but I can only handle like one museum a day. And it's fairly far away from the boat ramp, and there's people here, and just yeah, so I do want to come back and visit it someday, and I plan to, but not today, I don't think. So I am going to stop here for a quick pit stop. It's also about a little after 2 o'clock now. So I did lose an hour when I crossed over into North Dakota. So that's why today has gone by very quickly. I started very late, lost an hour, and spent a couple hours at Fort Union. So, but that's okay. So I've got a couple boats here on a dock, and there's one behind me kind of partying. It is July 3rd on a Thursday, so I expect to see a lot more of this, especially tomorrow and this whole weekend. So that'll be interesting. And yeah, I decided not to stop at the boat ramp. It was a pretty nasty one with like a lot of current. And I just didn't feel like the need to stop there and try to wrestle with all that current. It just didn't sound fun. So just gonna keep going. So this feels a little bit more like the Missouri River in Missouri. It's a lot wider now that the Yellowstone is dumped in. And there's rock dikes along here on this curve protecting it and kind of keeping the current away from the shore. So it really kind of feels like the Missouri River I know. It's not quite as chocolate brown as it is in Missouri, but you know, familiar. So that's nice. And yeah, until I get to the next reservoir, I'm really enjoying this. So I just realized that with everything going on today, I really haven't drank my coffee yet. I've still got almost a full cup of coffee. So I'm really going to enjoy this. I absolutely love coffee. So looking forward to this while floating down the river. Got a little deer staring at me from behind the log jam. Luckily they stick out pretty good this time of year. Oh, he didn't like me talking. He's gone. But yeah, it's currently almost 6 o'clock. It's gotten pretty cloudy, and keeping an eye on radar, make sure nothing pops up behind me. But plan to keep going. I have to be careful because with the time change, I think I lost an hour. So it might get dark at 8 o'clock now, or 8:30, 9 o'clock, rather than 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So gonna have to keep an eye on that and stop a little bit earlier. But that's okay. I'm kind of annoyed. I took it easy yesterday afternoon, had a late start, and I'm still tired. But that's okay. Just annoying that I did rest and now I'm still tired again. But I'm not too far away from Tobacco Gardens, and I'm very much looking forward to some rest and relaxation there. So there's another bald eagle in front of me. They're almost not exciting at this point. There's so many of them out here. But still absolutely beautiful birds. There's a flock of pelicans on an island way over there, across the river.
For a while.
So I met these beach partiers here, and I really enjoyed it. Had a nice beverage with them, and had a great time. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, so it's about 4:30. I'm back on the water. That was nice. Had a nice chat with them, and got some interactions with people, so that was nice. And yeah, now we're back on the water. We're gonna try to get close to Willingston today is the plan. There is a chance of storms this evening, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And yeah, just keep going down the river. There's a pump jack right next to the river. Got a little deer staring at me from behind the log jam. Luckily they stick out pretty good this time of year. Oh, he didn't like me talking. He's gone. Okay, I've got some nice hills in front of me, and I've got some big old thunderstorms forming up ahead. Luckily they're not anywhere near me. But yeah, there's some big old towers forming east of me. So nothing to worry about. I'm keeping an eye on radar, making sure nothing pops up behind me. But yeah, it's going good. It's 6 o'clock, so it's gotten really wide in this section, and the current is slowing down. So I'm not too excited about that, but that's okay. And yeah, just gonna keep going. Okay, so it's about, it's always on ×2. Okay, so it's about 7:30, and I'm pretty tired. I just had almost took a cat nap in the middle of the river because I'm so tired. But I'm struggling on, and I'm getting really hungry too. I've been watching some food videos on YouTube, which is a terrible idea, and man, am I hungry. So I'm not quite at the point of looking for a campground. I've still got almost 3 hours of sunlight left. So yeah, I am under a severe thunderstorm warning, but I'm just right on the edge. I think most of it's supposed to be south tonight. So I will be sure to pick a campsite, fairly up high out of the water, and stake everything down, but I think I should be fine. So it looks like there's nothing near me at the moment. So I'm just gonna keep going and push through it, basically. So it's an absolutely beautiful day. Today was hot. It got up to 98 this afternoon, and I was sweating. Like I had the fan on full, and it only helped a little bit, but that's okay. I did survive. It's supposed to be a lot cooler after this. This was the hottest day for probably the next week or so. So I'm glad for that, and ready for some cooler weather. But right now there's kind of some hazy clouds out, and there's a light breeze, so I'm pretty cool, and gonna keep going as far as I can today. Trying to get as close to the deltas as I can before I try to attempt to go through those tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be no big deal again. That's what I'm really, really hoping for. So there's been paddlers in the past going through the delta here that have gotten stuck in the mud flats and literally had to have airboats come rescue them. They were like trying to crawl through quicksand with their boat trying to get out, and yeah, I do not want to be the airboat guy. No way. So I'm gonna go slow, be careful. I've got some tips on the Facebook page on where to go, and yeah, hopefully make it through there without too many issues. So there's a very nice sandbar on the other side of the river there, and I'm very tempted to stop, but I really like to go a little farther, get a few more miles. So that's kind of the downside to trying to find a campsite every night. Like that spot there is perfect, but I like to keep going. But am I gonna find another perfect spot a couple miles down the river? Like there are a lot of islands, and I do have plenty to choose from, but not all of them are nearly that nice. So we'll see, I guess, because I think I'm going to keep going, so I will find out. And you always wonder, am I going to regret going past that, and I'm going to have a really crappy camping site? But oh well, that's just part of it. So I'm going to keep going, and in another hour or so probably we'll see if I can't find a place just as good as that one. So I was thinking about stopping here, but it's a really steep bank, and there's some what appears to be moose tracks through the island, like pretty good size. I don't know what else that would be other than a moose. So big old footprints, like big old footprints here, and it's so steep, and there's about 1 million mosquitoes. So I think I'm going to keep going and keep looking. There looks like the severe storm. I'm under a severe storm warning, and it looks like there might be a little bit of rain coming in about 30 minutes. So I'd like to find a spot. I see one that might possibly work a little farther downstream, so I'm going to go check it out. But the mosquitoes here are horrendous. Okay, I've got the boat pulled up And I got a nice sandbar here. There's a bunch of driftwood here beside me. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the tent set up. The mosquitoes are still here, but they're not quite as bad as they were on that other island upstream. That was horrible. So I'm gonna get the tent set up, get some supper, and go escape into it. It's supposed to possibly storm. I can see some big old thunderstorms over there popping off, and hopefully they stay over there. And might just get some rain, hopefully. So I'm gonna get camp set up and figure out supper. So I had to go ahead and put on bug spray because I'm just being eaten alive out here. It's horrible. So I've got the tent set up. I'm trying to put all the stakes in while being bitten by mosquitoes hundreds of times. It's a lot of fun. So I can't wait to get inside there. Oh, this is terrible. So not having too much fun. Well, that's okay. I'm gonna batten down all the hatches and figure out supper and see if I can do it from inside the tent or something, because this is terrible. Okay, so I'm pretty sweaty and gross. It was hot today. I got the fan here hooked up, blowing on me, but I'm gross. I'd love to go for a swim. That sounds amazing, but I'm afraid I'm going to get eaten alive and be bitten about 400 times by the time I get into the water and out. And so, not really too interested in that. So maybe in the morning, I guess. But yeah, I'm gross. So I've got my towel. I'm going to try to wipe off with that and use some shower wipes to wipe down and see if I can get marginally cleaner, I guess. And then, but yeah, I'm just damp from sweat today because it was so hot, which is gross. So for supper, I have chicken fajita bowl by Mountain House, and when I went through all the meals this morning, I found some of the smaller ones that I have, and this one is a quinoa with sweet potato skillet. So I'm going to cook up both of those because I'm hungry, and enjoy those and escape into this tent. So that's the plan. There's just a lot of mosquitoes. I'm not a fan of that. So hopefully the wind will pick up when this storm gets a little closer and they'll all go away. That'd be amazing. So yeah, that's the plan. All right, so it's 10 o'clock, and I'm sitting here editing a video. I've been eating supper inside the tent because the mosquitoes, kind of breaking that rule, but oh well. And yeah, it is just stupid hot. Like, I'm just sitting here sweating. I've got the fan blowing on me, and it just isn't. It's helping, but it's just really hot. So I wish it would actually rain. That'd be really nice, but I don't know that's going to happen anytime soon. So just not having an enjoyable evening, but that's okay. I will survive. It just might be a couple more hours before it cools off, which is not ideal. So the Mountain House meal was really good, but this sweet potato, the quinoa sweet potato skillet is not. Do not enjoy it. I'm trying to go ahead and eat it just because I already paid money for it and I went ahead and rehydrated it. But it's not gross, but it does not taste good. So, but oh well. You live and you learn. So that one is definitely never getting bought again. And yeah, still haven't set my bed up. I don't really enjoy the thought of sweating in it, but I'm gonna have to eventually. So hopefully it'll cool off soon, because it's hot in here, and it's hot out there too. It's just a very humid and hot evening. Okay, so it's about 11:30. I've had thunder going past all evening. Apparently a bunch of storms went right past me, and it never actually rained to cool off here, so it's still pretty hot. I got the fan blowing on me, and yeah, it's not the most enjoyable evening I've ever had, but I got the video
edited. It's rendering right now, and I'll get that uploaded in the morning. I'm not risking going outside and setting up my Starlink with all the mosquitoes out there. I don't want to fill the tent right before bed with a bunch of mosquitoes because they're bad out there. So yeah, I plan to try to get up a little early and get this edited up and uploaded. And I say this all the time, but hopefully get on the water a little earlier because I want to try to get through the deltas and have lots of time for that. So that's tomorrow's plan. And yeah, I think with that, I'm going to say good night, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.